What's going on, you lot? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing my first ever lens review on the Tamron 28-75 f2.8 Di3 RXD. I think I nailed that first time. Let's get into it. I know this lens is nothing new and there's tons and tons of reviews out there already on YouTube, but I just want to give my honest real world opinion coming from someone that's purchased and uses this lens for the past year and a half. But I want to make a couple of assumptions first. And I know they can make an arse out of you and me, but by clicking on this video, I'm assuming that you either want to get out of your kit lens into something a bit better, or you want to bolster your current kit with a mid-range zoom. However, you might not want to spend all that money on a G Master 24-70. We had and have the same reasons for getting into this lens. And all I wanted to know then, was it worth spending my hard-earned cash on this lens? But let me tell you, it's so worth it. Let's stick with the money because this can be people's first hurdle. This lens will set you back £700 brand new, depending on where you buy it from and the current offer at the time. Second hand, it'll set you back anywhere between £500 to around £600 to £650 depending on the usage level. In comparison, a G Master will set you back around £2,000, again depending on where you buy it and what the offer is at the time. Second hand G Master will set you back around £1,400, so a considerable saving from a G Master. You may think you'd lose tons and tons of image quality with how cheap this lens is, but let me tell you, in my opinion, the images are tack sharp, corner to corner, from f2.8 to up to around f9, then it starts to dip across all the focal length. It is spot on. It has a minimum focusing distance of 0.19 meters at the wide end and 0.39 at the telephoto end, so it can actually be used as a kind of macro lens. It can get really up close to a subject to create some real depth and separation from the background. In my opinion, the bokeh is nice, but I'm not going to dwell and spend too much time on this subject because it's all down to personal preference, and I think it's very good, but that's up to you to decide. The build quality is what you'd expect at this price point. It's of a full plastic construction. There's no bells and whistles on the actual body itself. It's just the lens, the zoom ring and the focus ring. The zoom ring and the focus ring are really nice and smooth. You do lose that little bit of functionality when it comes to the higher end lenses with a focus hold button or an autofocus to manual focus switch. Something it has got though that you probably wouldn't expect from this price point is weather sealing, and I can vouch for it, it is very good. Something else you probably didn't know, that Sony owns a small percentage of Tamron, and that's very apparent when it comes to autofocus. This lens autofocuses like a native lens. It's fast, it's reliable and very predictable when you get to grips with it. Some of Sony's autofocus performance has definitely filtered down into the Tamron lenses. It's not all sunshine and roses for this lens though. There are a few little nuances that can be deal breakers for some and workarounds for others. And we'll start off with its weird focal length. 28-75mm is a weird focal length in terms of mid-range zooms. 24-70 is normally the standard, but Tamron went to the 28-75, maybe not to step on Sony's toes so much. I didn't think this was a big thing in the beginning because I wasn't shooting like vlogs and stuff, and 28 was fine. But now it's a little bit too close when I want to shoot a vlog, and I'll show you that now. So I'm filming at 20mm, I'll zoom into 28. Now we're at 28. I think this is a little bit close to vlog and my camera is about the same length away as it would be when I was vlogging. I just prefer the look of the bit wider, so I'm about 20mm now, which is what I'm used to shooting at for vlogs and these talking head videos. A lot of people mention wedding photographers when they're talking about 24-70, they want that extra bit of wide. I can kind of get on board with that now. In the beginning I didn't really think 28 was a problem, so I'm mainly a car photographer. But doing other stuff made me understand that the extra 4mm does make quite a lot of difference. It's not a massive deal breaker for me, but it would be nice to have that extra 4mm. As I mentioned before, it hasn't got any of the higher end functionalities in terms of what's on the lens body itself, like the focus hold button or your autofocus to manual focus switch. But again, not a massive deal breaker. You are paying considerably less for this lens against the G Master. Another thing that could be slightly weird for people coming out of traditional zoom lenses to get used to is the way that the zoom and the focus ring are the opposite way around. Normally this would be your zoom and this would be your focus ring. That's just something to get used to. Again, not a massive deal breaker for me because I didn't really use the kit lens that came with my Sony a7 III, and this is all I've ever actually used in terms of zooms. To summarise this lens, you get a hell of a lot more than you actually pay for. You do lose out on some of the higher end functionalities like the buttons and stuff that's actually on the lens, but the autofocus and the image quality is as good as anything that you can buy. But that's it from me, guys. I hope I've portrayed my honest real world findings and opinions of this lens. If I did, please smash that like button. Leave me a comment if you want to see more lens reviews like this in the future. If you want to support this channel, please consider subscribing. But with all that being said and done, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you lot in the next one.